Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our, really early morning transfer reaction show. It's not a transfer reaction, but what we have known for a while has finally been confirmed. Paul Pogba is leaving Manchester United on a free transfer. Second time that he's doing that. It came for a £90 million. Probably, not probably, definitely underwhelmed. Some would say he was a flop. I don't know. I don't know if he was a flop, but he definitely didn't perform to the standards that I expected or anybody else expected. But he is leaving on a free transfer. It's been confirmed. I think as a fan, I'm really happy that he's leaving, only for the reason because the new contract that was on offer was a really ridiculous contract, and he had no reason to give him that contract, and he really shouldn't be have been given that new contract. So it's good that he's going. It's good from that perspective. As a player, I will not miss him. I will not miss him because I think it was a strange signing. It was a strange signing to start off with. I mean, £90 million for a midfielder. In any case, he was never worth £90 million. I think it's probably worth about 40, 45. They overpaid by a double, and he was never a Jose Mourinho player. I don't know why. He was basically a vanity signing for Ed Woodward. That is what he was. He was a vanity signing for Ed Woodward, who wanted to show the world the kind, like this is the kind of money we can splash. These are the players that we can get. It's kind of like I think that was peak Galactico. That was peak United Galactico. A time when there was also signed Zlatan that season as well, if you recall. So that was peak Galactico United. The only difference was they were not really signing They were not really signing, the true world-class stars. There's levels to that. But nonetheless, it was that, and I think Mourinho just didn't know what to do with him because he wasn't really a CDM. He wasn't really. He was a box-to-box midfielder, but I don't think he was a box-to-box midfielder either. I think he was more of a I know what his best position is, to be honest. I think his best position is a central midfielder in a 4-4-2, but then you've got to have two defensive midfielders next to him. That's his best position. Now, how do you play? How does a club how does a top club play like that? They probably don't, right? And so that's the conundrum there. But nonetheless, it's a strange one for Paul Pogba, but it never worked out. Mourinho kind of got fed up with him. Expectedly, was it understandable? No, but expectedly he got fed up with him, benched him. Then Mourinho leaves. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes in, tries to indulge him, gave him a lot of freedom, a lot of support. Keep in mind, Solskjaer knew that he couldn't play as a CDM in a double pivot, and therefore he always played him. He accommodated him playing on the left wing. He did that for him. And I thought last season was his best season for United, and he played on the left wing, but that was his best season for United. I thought he actually showed something that he could do. He looked like a David Silva type player, not as good as David Silva, but he just looked like a David Silva type player, playing up the left, drifting in. As Silva used to do, play on the wing and then kind of drift in. That's what Pogba was doing, and it worked. It worked quite well. But then, his form tailed off the season again. Probably like everybody else, he decided he didn't want to try. He didn't want to care, and now he's leaving. I expected more. I really expected more from him. He had his best season, but that's not to say that he was great. I think he was okay last season, but still, you judge players on what they do, in terms of success, in terms of trophies. And the fact is, only 2 trophies won in 6 years. It doesn't really speak success, does it? And in fact, those 2 trophies were not really. They were good. They were important. Every trophy is important, but they were not the big trophies that United craved. So, ultimately, I think that's where I think his signing was unsuccessful. And I think another point as well to make is the fact that I saw a stat. He's only played 233 games in the last 6 years. That's not even 40 games a season, by the way. He's not even played 40 games a season. Imagine that a first 11 player for Manchester United when fit only plays, not even 40 games a season. It was 6 years. I mean, that tells you he's injury prone. He's very injury prone. He was very injury prone. Whatever it was, real injuries, fake injuries, whatever they were. He was absolutely unavailable for a lot of games. You can't really do that at the top level. And this became a pattern. Towards the end of the season, became a pattern. Last 3-4 seasons, this is what he's been doing. Comes in, plays 3 or 4 very good games at the start. Right? Everybody thinks gets goals, gets assists. Everybody's thinking, well, Pogba's going to do well this season. He's going to take Man United somewhere. Then has a couple of bad games, 4 or 5 bad games. Then gets injured. By the time October rolls around, he gets injured, gets suspended, gets injured, whatever, and then is not seen until February, March. And that's when he comes back, and then he plays really well towards the end of the season, and then it's like raising hopes for next season. Or maybe next season Pogba would be good. And there are conspiracy theories there as well, because the start of the season is still the start of the transfer window. So he plays well to try to get a transfer, doesn't get it, then form tips off, then gets injured, and comes back towards the end of the season to try to increase his value for the next transfer window, and the cycle repeats. But anyway, that's a different matter. I think it's bad business for United as well. They're going to sell him for a free on the second time. But such as the things, I mean, they should have sold him 3 years ago when Madrid were willing to offer 120 million, but they held out for 150, and that was a mistake. And then COVID came in, and he became practically unsellable because the value, he was not worth what United were asking. And in a pandemic market, no team was going to pay what they wanted, what United wanted. So that's where it was. Combination of factors, but nonetheless, still a bad business decision to let him go on a free. But such is life. It's good that he is going now to find another place where he can play. Perhaps he can play to his full potential. Perhaps the slower pace of La Liga, Serie A might help him. So, but we'll see what his next move is. Anyway, let me know in the comments. What do you think? What do you think about Paul Pogba? Do you think he was mismanaged? Do you think he was just not up to it? He was not so interested. Let me know what you thought about Pogba and this time. And of course, remember to smash a like if you enjoyed this video. Like I said, things are happening, things are rolling. We're going to be here. We've got to do so many things. So just if you subscribe and if you follow us on YouTube and Facebook, you will get notified for content as soon as it drops. So please do that. We appreciate your support. We'll be back again with more. We'll see what else is brewing today. And if there's anything else breaking, we'll definitely be back. So thank you so much. Take care. See you again soon. Bye-bye.